Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. As you can see, I'm on the trail. Since YouTube didn't like me trying to post my video of the Sentinel, my book review from this morning, it just wasn't uploading. My wrap-up came in, was supposed to be after that uploaded, and it went before. And when I left home, it was still trying to upload. So I'm going to give up faith on that. And I'm going to record one out here while I'm getting my trail miles in. So the Sentinel, published in 2020 by Lee Child and Andrew Child, his brother. It's the first one they kind of co-wrote, and it's book number 25 in the Jack Reacher series. I tried reading this book about a year after it was published, and I didn't like the voice of Reacher, and so I put it aside. Since then, I started my YouTube channel. We've had a couple seasons now of Reacher that were adapted for TV and starring Alan Richardson, which is great. Highly recommend you should check those out. And I did a deep dive character study on Jack Reacher about 4 months ago. It's in that playlist, which I will append to the video if you want to check it out. But the summary of the Sentinel is we have Jack Reacher. He was in Nashville, had a bar, listened to a band. He's into music, you know. And so he approached the band afterwards, and they were telling him about getting stiffed by the bar manager, and he helps them out. And in doing so, he catches a ride, and I believe it is, and he goes about 90 miles from Nashville. And he's there kind of checking out town, drifting like he likes to do. He's nomadic. And he sees a guy, Rutherford, and which he didn't know at the time, but he could see him from a distance that he was getting ready to be ambushed. And so Reacher, being the guy that he is, he stepped in and took care of some goons for him. And then he doesn't really want to get involved with like all things Reacher. That's where the story kind of unfolds, and he gets involved and it becomes personal. And apparently this Rutherford guy is an IT manager for the city, and basically the city is without its computer system. It's been under cyber attack. And apparently there's connections to Russia election, and so then you see the FBI is involved, and they get an understanding that Reacher's there, even though he's trying to be run out of town by the insurance company because I'm sure they don't want to pay. And so, like all things, Reacher has to make a decision: does he stay or does he go? And like all things, Reacher stays and fights because that's what he does. But I enjoyed that piece. I mean, I enjoyed the pace. I really liked the pace of the book. That was pretty decent. I like the fact that Reacher is Reacher. You know, he carries a toothbrush, an ATM card, and some cash, usually that he takes off his victims that he beats up because he calls it, quote, spoils of a war. He still buys his clothes at a Goodwill when he's wore his clothes for long enough. Presses them under the mattress of seedy hotels. That's how he does his clothes. And, you know, still eating in diners. No place to be. Living the life. And so there's a lot of allure as a male reader for Reacher. He's good with the ladies. Beats up, you know, he's always physically imposing. I like Reacher. So what I didn't like, was it still seems very forced. Reacher is. Reacher doesn't have the ease that you normally see with the earlier books by Lee Child. Some of Lee Child's better books are Die Trying, One Shot, 61 Hours, Persuader, Killing Floor, Midnight Line, Tripwire, Echo Burning, I think are one of those really good ones. This one seems a little more forced, like Andrew Child hasn't figured out how to you know, he kind of it almost seems like he goes over the top to make Reacher this bad, you know, guy, like this really tough guy. And so I don't like that. It's not as subtle. But anyways, that's what I didn't like. Overall, I give the book a 3.9 as far as the rating. There's no memorable excerpts, but I did some research on Goodreads for you. Not that I give this a lot of weight, but Goodreads still has a pretty big polarization on people that are liking the new books by both Lee and Andrew Child. And you have a group like myself that are still not really digging it, you know? So it seems kind of split, you know? I think some people like the fact that they're getting another Reacher story irregardless. So there's those, but there's still some like me that have read, you know, now 25 of the books, and you can tell the difference. So I don't know. I'm going to continue reading them and giving you my thoughts. It is one of my long-term goals for next year is to read more, reread some of the old favorites of mine and put the reviews on the channel. And so that's my review. I will say that if you stayed this long, I'm going to have a pretty cool thumbnail for you on this one. Usually I do the book covers, but this one's going to be a nice little picture of the lake. You should enjoy it. But that's my review. I hope you're having a great day. I'll put this up later because I know my original video is not going to make it. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.